Hello, welcome to My Black Has a Purpose. We are here tonight, of course, with our loving founder, Takara Hemingway, and she has some totally dope, in a positive way, cool, black, young, current, future, right now, Generation Next, Generation Z. Like these youth are the bomb,
Yes,
all
they
of
are.
them.
Yes, they are.
And they represent varied aspects of life. We're so totally pumped to have them on this call. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Share it, post it, TikTok it, do whatever you gotta do. Don't stop. Takara, listen, we're gonna throw this mic over to you, just virtual mic, all right? So welcome everybody. Let's give a huge shout out and a hand clap for
Yeah.
Tamia, Coda, Kendall, Charity, and BJ.
Yeah. So let's also give a hand clap to our tech person behind the scenes. Everybody doesn't know who that is. And we'll keep her. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm unemployed. I'm unemployed.
Right. Keep her on the wraps. But no, no, no. Like she said, we are here. My Black Has a Purpose is back. And tonight we are talking with thriving young black leaders. And man, I am so excited. I don't know about y'all, but y'all know I am a big kid at heart. I think I sung Barney all the way until I was like maybe 18, 19. Y'all probably don't even know who Barney is, do y'all? Y'all know who? Oh, to me, you know who Barney is? Okay, thank you
Oh,
for
and everybody can unmute.
yeah,
Sorry,
y'all can
sorry.
unmute.
Y'all
Yeah.
can totally unmute.
Thank you for not leaving me hanging, daughter, over there. She was like, "Yeah, mom, I know that." But no, man, I'm truly excited. I just think this is going to be an awesome call. I'm so glad and so pumped that you all agreed to be on this call. A lot of times
That
we
part.
hear about right.
They didn't think it was boring.
Right, they didn't think that we were boring. They're like, oh, my Black Has a Purpose. I love to be on with you guys and just share my story and talk with you guys a little bit, which I think is amazing and it's awesome because you guys are doing some amazing things, man. And we always talk a lot about, the negative things that have to do with youth, but we don't spend enough time on the positivity that the youth that we have right here in Columbus, Georgia are doing. And like I said earlier, I think if we spend more time talking about the positivity and just showing the amazing things and showing how inspirational, how inspiring you guys are for others, then we'll have more copycats wanting to do more positive things. And I like Z said earlier, we just have some amazing people on this call. So without further ado, I'm just going to go around the call and let you guys introduce yourselves and just tell us a little bit about who you are, how old you are, what school you attend. And yeah, so Tamia, I think you are the youngest on the call. Can we start with you?
Hi, I'm Tamia Hooks. I go to Double Churches Middle School. I'm 13 years old, and I love to sing and dance and have fun with family. So.
All right, all right. And Dakota, or excuse me, Coda. We got Coda next.
Either is fine. But you can call me Coda. My name is Coda. I'm 15. I attend Northside High School. Um, I'm into all things the arts, visual and performance arts, dance, photography, graphic design, writing, just a whole bunch of stuff. The arts, basically.
Wow, wow, wow. She is amazing, y'all. Like she does all of the video for our church. I mean, she takes amazing pictures. Yeah, she's dope, and she's an awesome dancer. So yeah, look forward to hearing more about you on the call. We have our only gentleman on the call, Mr. Kendall Williams. Can we come to you and you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Kendall. Uh, a little bit about myself. I attend currently right now. I'm in a dorm room. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is my dorm room. I'm at Bates College. I'm a sophomore here. Currently planning to create my own major, interdisciplinary major of decision science, and doing engineering track as well. Um, I can't really say like what else I do because like honestly, I think I do a lot, not like to my own horn, but I have like gotten started in like now video production. I do coding. I speak. I do a lot of things. Involved a lot here at my school, but I'm happy to be on the call.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. And it's okay to toot your horn on this call because it's all about y'all. So that's okay. That's what we're here to do. Toot, 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 toot. Okay. So next we have Miss Egypt Lawrence who just joined the call. Egypt, can you just share with us who you are and your age and what school you attend, what you're into? Tell us a little bit. How you doing?
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Egypt Lawrence. I am a junior at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. My major is psychology, with a minor in anthropology, and I'm currently in school, of course. That takes a good bit of my time. I'm due to graduate next year, so I'm just preparing for that, and um, I'm doing a lot in the community. I'm an academic tutor. I help a church with their social media, so like a social media coordinator type of thing. And I'm also in the course to help autistic children and children that suffer with ADHD. So
Wow. Dope. Man, mad props to you, man. You don't find a lot of youth that are interested in doing or even in that field because there's such a stigma on mental health. So we will touch a little bit more on that. And thank you. Thank you so much. Next we will come to Miss BJ Tillman, if you
Thank you
don't
so
mind.
much for having me. And hello, everyone. My name is BJ Tillman. I'm currently a senior at Brookstone School here in Columbus. And just a short introduction of myself. Two of my biggest passions lie in the areas of civic engagement and leadership development. And so, what you'll probably see me doing in the community is probably running my nonprofit, Your Voice, Your Vote, which works to target voter registration, voter turnout, and voter awareness among the youth in general, but also among everybody that has that's eligible to vote. And so also, something else that takes up a lot of my time, I currently serve as the regional teen president for an organization called Jack and Jill of America Incorporated. And so what that organization works to do is kind of increase and nurture leadership development, civic engagement, and financial literacy among African American youth and teens in general. And so again, my passions really go along the way of nurturing the youth in general and making sure that we're equipped with the resources to make a difference. But also, I love to work with and target African American youth as well. So I'm really excited for our discussion tonight, and I'm honored to be a part of it.
Awesome. Can you guys still hear me? Y'all can still hear me? Okay, great, great, great. All right. Did you say uh-oh. Okay. I'm not sure. We having a little bit of technical difficulty tonight. I'm mad
Yes,
at this thing. It
it
would have
looks
been
like
on
it's
my favorite
muted
night.
on.
Okay. Okay. I'm not sure. Well, we're just gonna keep rolling. And next we have Miss Charity Hartnett. Can you unmute Charity and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Charity Hartnett. I'm 16 years old, and I attend Northside High School. And I would basically say my passion is community service. I have an initiative called Point Blank Period. And basically what we do is we help to alleviate period poverty here in the Muskogee County area. And what period poverty is the lack of access to feminine hygiene products due to your financial situation. And that affects so many women here in Columbus because we have such a high poverty rate. And so basically what we do, we go out to schools, shelters, and we just provide these items for women who can't provide them for themselves. And I'm grateful to be a part of it.
Man, dope, dope, dope. Oh my God. For y'all that are tuning in, if y'all don't see how awesome these kids are, something is wrong, man. Like dope. I'm so proud of each one of y'all. So I just want to go to each one of you again and just let you elaborate a little bit more. BJ, I'm gonna actually start with you because you and I met through a voting rally that we did called Epic Voters Rally, where you came out with your voice, your vote, right? Tell us a little bit because you're 17, right? So I'm just very interested to know you're not even of legal age to vote, and you came up with this whole organization, or you're a 501c3, right?
Yes, well, yes, ma'am. We kind of identify as like a more of a initiative than an actual organization, mostly just because it's a
Okay.
grassroots effort. But I'll be sure to expand upon that experience and just kind of how we got started, if that's what you're looking for. Okay, so absolutely. So a lot of what Your Voice, Your Vote does, we go into area high schools specifically. That's our main mission. And we hold an assembly where we talk about the power of voting in every election. And we also follow up the next day and provide actual voter registration. And so we also really love to translate that initiative to the community as well. Through a lot of protests that were happening this summer. Obviously, we couldn't do them with school, especially towards the end and in the summer, but we really love to provide voter registration at a lot of community events as well. So that's where I met Miss Hemingway. And so I love meeting people there and just giving those resources to the community, especially at protests as well. And community events along those lines, because it's so clear that the people there are really desperate for some type of social change. And one of my passions is really drawing that connection between the social change that some people are so desperate for and actual voting, because I truly think that change, tangible change, really comes through legislation. And so that's something I'm really passionate about. And that's where you probably would have seen me a lot this summer, is at a lot of those protests and community events.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Wow, that's just amazing to me because here I am, 30 something. I ain't gonna tell you how old I am, but 30 something years old, and I've never been into politics and voting the way I have this year. But to see someone like you, 17, already showing such a great interest in, our political, I mean, in our government, our, and getting people out there to vote. And I'm just like, wow, I was blown away, especially when I found out how old you are. I was like, what? Wait a minute. This baby can't even vote and she already, man, dope. Let's go back to Charity a little bit. Talk to me a little bit more about Point Blank Period.
So basically, I started it in the fall of 2019, and prior to that, during the summer, I was volunteering at a local women's shelter, and I learned that clothes were the most donated items, but they rarely saw feminine hygiene products come through those doors. And they told me that that's what those ladies needed the most. I mean, what are you going to do with clothes when you don't have feminine hygiene products? You're just going to soil them. So I took it upon myself to start this initiative because I love women. I love being a feminist. Anything that has to do with women, I'm dedicated to it. And I took it upon myself in the fall of 2019 to start this initiative. And basically what I did, I put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram. And so many people were so supportive of what I was doing. And we received so many donations, so many monetary and physical donations. Like I think I raised around $3,000 in monetary donations, and I raised about maybe 5,000 boxes of feminine hygiene products. And that has helped me to help so many women. So far, we've blessed over 2,000 women in our small community. And I am looking forward to blessing more women in surrounding areas like Phoenix City and Auburn, all of those places. I want to reach them as well. I mean, anybody that I can reach and help, it means so much to me. And period poverty also affects a lot of young women and girls who are school age. So if they don't have access to feminine hygiene products, they often miss out on school and work. And those are such important opportunities to develop their growth. And so I don't think any girl should have to miss out on school or work just because she doesn't have any products to help her with her cycle. So that's where I became passionate about that.
Wow. Man, I really don't even have words. Like, what child, you know what I'm saying, really, really thinks like that? Like, you're so amazing, man. And I think I was talking to somebody who was talking about the young girls and like the bathrooms in the schools and stuff like that, how they were running out of tissue and different things like that because girls were having to utilize tissue because of not simply having something like what you're providing. You know what I'm saying? Hygiene and pads and stuff. Like, I commend you.
Thank you
I
so
commend
much.
you, and definitely keep doing what you're doing, man. You're such an inspiration. So dope. And I know Tamia here wants to definitely get involved with you. So, man, kudos to you. Kendall, let's come to you, Kendall. You were saying something about starting your own major. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, kind of the background behind how I got started on that is a longer story, but it kind of started like I originally when I was in high school, I always wanted to do engineering, and so when it came down to choosing schools, I was tied down with like two big decisions: Georgia Tech and Bates College. And like for any tech engineer or computer science person, they would they would choose tech, because tech is like a well-known school for those type things. But I knew that God had different plans for me, and I saw like a different path for me at Bates. And so in choosing Bates, I knew that there would be a longer route for engineering because my school doesn't necessarily have engineering. We have a dual degree program partner with other universities, um, considerably Columbia, Dartmouth, WashU University. And for me, like I was, really stressed down with the decision of like, okay, tech, Bates, but I knew God had a different plan for me. So when I chose Bates, I knew that I would be choosing more years in school. But what I didn't know is like Bates had a cool opportunity to create your own major because alongside with the dual degree program, you can either graduate 4 to 3 years. I chose 4 because I didn't want to like crush myself in 3 years and finish college early because I want to just enjoy the college experience and also do study abroad. So on the 4-2 plan, you can create your major, and I decided to go with something that like I saw myself doing every day, which was making decisions. And at first, when I learned about the major of decision science, which isn't at Bates College, is at Carnegie Mellon, I was doing just a bunch of research and like, okay, what are some things I like? I know I'm good at just helping people, consulting, and like really just making effective decisions. And even in my own life, I started to see like particular patterns to where like I noticed like most of the things that I've done and most of the things that I've liked doing have been led by particular decisions and like just really making effective ones. And so when I found out it was a major, I decided, hey, I'm going to bring this up to Bates. And right now, I'm in the process of like creating a board of people to get my proposal approved, and then soon I'll be able to like declare my own major of decision science. So yeah, and that's pretty much just the whole scope of things.
What? What? Man, I mean, you're making your own major. Like, what? That's so dope. Have any of y'all ever heard of that? No, like, I mean, isn't that amazing? Like, golly, that's dope, man. Like, I'm so freaking proud of you, man. Let's keep up the good work, man. We're gonna come to Dakota.
Okay. I have no idea where to start, so I'm just start talking. So I want to say last summer, like, during COVID, quarantine, all that stuff, I started taking pictures, and it was just that taking pictures and posting them to Instagram. And, from there, people started liking what I was doing. And then, with art can sometimes come controversy. So there was a lot of like people making fun of me for what I did or them not understanding the art, right? So then I came out with a post, talking about just people who are different, people who are unique, people who do stuff not in the ordinary. And I came out talking to them like, hey, it's okay to be different. It's okay to do stuff that not everybody's gonna understand. And from there, it was like, okay, these people like what I have to say. Like, it was like, give me more of this. You have knowledge, you have wisdom. I want more of this. So from there, it just came from, taking regular pictures and taking pictures with a story. So now I commit myself to posting photography, posting art and sending messages to people that will just brighten their day or just motivate them to do better. Just by sharing my testimony, that I've learned that I've helped a lot of people get through certain situations. And what's really been a blessing is all age groups. All age groups. Like, people are able to look past my age, me being 15 years of age, and are really able to just see that I simply just want to help people. I've gotten so many opportunities from these social media platforms. I'm actually going to be doing an exhibit in my local museum, the Columbus Museum, just doing photography. And yeah, I also do like fitness and stuff like that. So just teaching people how to live their body and teaching people how much power they actually hold to make changes for themselves, because you can't pour into anybody else's cup until you pour into yours first. You know,
Come on here.
I speak on all subjects. Anything you think of, I have spoken on it, and I continue to preach it. And yeah, I hope that this year I will continue to grow further and further.
Oh, it's time for me to speak. I'm sorry. I forgot. Shoot, what? I don't even.
Amazing from everybody. Amazing.
What do you say? Like, I didn't expect this now. Y'all doing too much now, okay? I don't even know how to come back. Like, what? And you are how old?
I'm 15.
All adults 30 and over, just start again.
Right, I know, like, just start over. Like,
people have put the challenge before you.
Oh my God.
It's okay. It's all right.
I mean, and she is so articulate. I was like, what? Wait a minute. How old is this child? And I don't know. I just take pride. I've been knowing her since she was 2 years old. Yeah. And I go to church with her. So yeah, that's really the only thing I can say to take a little bit of credit of that, Coda. But man, awesome.
Tamia, what do you have to ask any of them at this point? We need a good,
we left
great question.
Wait, we left out Egypt down here. We gotta talk to Egypt. Yeah, because Egypt hadn't spoke on, she ain't elaborated, right? She ain't elaborated on what she out here doing in this community. We see all the beauty, that black beauty that she got all over the place, So talk to us a little bit about your like what you got going on. And
nothing proprietary.
Well, I'm more so with Coda. Like, I really focus on mental health and just, being who you are. Your body is okay. You're not meant to be anybody else. So just being uniquely yourself and loving yourself. Like, you don't need a man or a woman to love you. You have God and then yourself. So I'm really just a mental health advocate. It's nothing to. Other than that, I do model. I started to do that like really a year ago, actually. And it's simply just to get the message out that you're just uniquely you and you're beautiful the way you are. You don't need to conform to the world any type of way. Just be who you are. And I feel like that draws people to me because I am who I am and I'm transparent. I feel like people should be more transparent because, hey, we're all humans. So it's usually just for me conversation and, I'm just in school. I'm grinding it out, just ready to graduate, doing what I can to help people here. I would love to work with all of you. Now, KJ, Kendall, that's my brother. Of course, I'm going to work with them. But I would love to work with all of you because it's really inspiring. I'm 21 and you guys are younger than me. And I love that. Like, we need to keep this momentum going so we can see what we can do in this community and then see how we can reach the nation.
Right. That's good. I mean, great message, Egypt. I mean, I can imagine if you guys are doing this much and are this powerful individually, you can only imagine what you guys will be able to do if you come together. Like, and then what I hear that's really surprising for me is each one of you are saying, I want to do something that helps others. I want to give back, and that's amazing coming from youth, selflessness. I am truly amazed. I know I keep saying amazing, y'all, but that is really the only word that I
Columbus is amazing.
Find right now. City. Right. Like, that's really the word I can find to describe you guys, man. You guys are inspiring for me, like, real talk. And I'm thankful that my 13-year-old is here to witness this. And so that she too can mimic, and following you guys' footsteps. Thank you all for being role models. Tamia, you had a question. So let's see.
So what I would say is like, what if you were like just entering high school or college and you walking down the hallway? What is the first thing that will come to your mind? Like how do I say this?
So somebody walking down the hallway and it's their first time on campus? Oh Lord. Let's hear this. Woo, that's a good one.
So are you asking from like
their point of view?
Right, but you're asking from like, because she's in middle school and she's in 8th grade, so she's about to go to high school, right? Mm-hmm. So you actually got 9th grade on here. BJ, you're a senior, right? And Charity, you're a senior.
No, I'm a junior.
Oh, well, we got them all. So we got, this is good. So we got freshman, we got junior, we got senior, and then we got college, right? We have two college students. So great. So I guess she's coming from, say it again, like you just want to know.
Their point of view of what would you be feeling and what would you be thinking in your mind of how would it feel to walk down that hallway?
Or like, how did it feel when you first walked down the hallway?
That's what she asked at first. Okay. It's that juice. Yeah, let's hear this.
Can I
go ahead, Cody?
For me, as a Christian, I don't mean to take out church, but I don't have to. It was really about standing your ground and understanding that you when you're called to be different, you have to have a different mindset than most of the people there. You can't conform to like, doing drugs or like stuff like that, because what happens when talking about success, you have to have that success mindset. Is continuously every single day waking up and deciding, okay, I need to act like who I want to be like. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be, rich or famous, it doesn't matter. If you just want to reach some kind of, just any kind of goal, you know what I'm saying? Act like it, you know what I'm saying? So for me, when I first walked in, I was really walking in like I'm popping, and I know I'm popping. Like I know this is about to be a good day because I say it's going to be a good day. This is not. It doesn't matter what goes on. It doesn't matter what, because what you will realize is that it's called a goal for a reason. Like there's always going to be stuff thrown at you. You're always going to have something in your day that's going to like try to tear you down, basically. And that's just, that's just life. And you have to take that challenge and grab it and decide, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this. I know that I can do this. And that's where it all begins in the mind. All begins in the mind. So for me,
that's good.
Glory, hallelujah. That's so good. My black has a purpose.
Oh God. What is she talking about? Okay. Anybody else want to hit on that question just from your perspective? Maybe one of the college students, y'all can talk about, when you first step into college. Come on, Kendall.
Yeah. So like, honestly, like I love the question because this is like, I'm a big person on like just what Koda was saying, like just being your own self and just knowing yourself. And like, that's the biggest part of like, I think you realize it too late when you get to college, and like you realize it not early enough in high school, because like something that I'm seeing now, like myself, as I grow into the man that I'm supposed to be and that God has prepared me to be, like I noticed that like there's a lot of self-reflection in this walk, and like what Koda was basically speaking on, like just that mindset is the most important thing that you can, just kind of ground it out, like when you're walking down the hallway. Because I still remember, like, middle school and high school, and it's not that I was like in those, I guess in those years that I was concerned about what others thought about me, but like it was still a factor in my thinking. Like it's still like, okay, like I got the J's on. Do I like? How am I looking? Like, all right, let me see. Like, okay. Just making sure everything was on point, especially like with my outfit or how I was thinking. I mean, how I was dressing. You get to college, people don't really care. And so then you start to really break down a lot of barriers of like, oh, people don't care. My professor doesn't. Oh, so like what matters? And the only thing that matters is what matters to you. And so like learning that and understanding that and just really growing in that, like, especially at an early age, like, you can like what Koda said, you could be popping, like you could walk in popping, like honestly, because you know, I think that's like what I said earlier. Like, it's something that high school students, like, coming in, they learn not early enough, and then high school, I mean college, like we learn like too late in the ball game, because then we start to like, okay, figuring out ourselves, and like even though like college is the place to do that, but like at the same time, I feel like the earlier you start, the more like ahead of the game you are.
Right.
So,
Right. That's good, KJ. I like how you said, you looking at your J's and worrying about that, but them J's ain't finna pass you, right? Them teachers don't care. I have a question, with you all being so successful, and maybe I can hear from the senior and junior in high school. How do you guys, I guess, like manage peer pressure? Being that, you guys are so involved, you're in the community, you have people looking at you at all times, right? And you're here you are, you're in high school, and high schoolers don't always make the best decisions, because we're curious. And I say we're because I was a high schooler one time, a long time ago. But anyway, don't do that. Don't do that. It wasn't that long ago. It was like last 2 years ago, maybe 2 years. But how do you guys deal with peer pressure? Because a lot of times when you say no, that makes you uncool, right?
I'm kind of just gonna piggyback off of what you said. There's definitely always gonna be temptation, and so you just have to make up in your mind if that temptation is worth your reputation. So being in the community and being in the public eye, you do one bad thing, nobody can ever forget about that. All your good goes out the window, and now it's just your bad. So you definitely have to keep that in the back of your mind when temptation comes about.
I love that, Charity, because I always say, don't make a permanent decision in a temporary time. So I love that. Is the temptation worth your reputation? Man, girl, you just came up with something. Then boy, don't get mad when I post that. I'm gonna give you credit, but I'm gonna have to put that out there. I'm gonna have to. I love that. BJ, you were finna say something.
Sure. I was just kind of going to piggyback off what Charity said. I think it's really important, especially as you are starting to thrive in your leadership and just in various positions in the community. I think it's really important that you keep your mindset on a goal, as Dakota was saying earlier, and really back to this entire idea of branding. Whether you recognize it or not, everyone has a brand, whether it's a good or a bad brand. And so I think like in the face of a lot of peer pressure, which is inevitable, one thing that I've learned as I've just held various positions is that a lot of people are going to be in your ear. You're going to have a lot of opportunities, but one thing that I realized is that not every opportunity is a good opportunity. Not everything is worth taking just because somebody's kind of vouching for it. And so I think that's really important. And again, in the face of peer pressure, really, I think what Charity said was a gem, and I think it wrapped it up perfectly. So that's really all I have to add.
That's very, very good advice. And a lot of people, even adults, need to take that, BJ, when you say that every opportunity isn't a good one, just like they say all money ain't good money, and just because some people offer you opportunity, it's not because they're offering it with you in mind. Maybe it's they have themselves in mind, or some type of other motive behind it. But Egypt, were you finna say something?
Oh, I wasn't, but I can go ahead and add my. Okay, so well, they pretty much said everything. I was gonna say, just know what's for you and what's not. Like, if you are not with it, then don't do it. Like, I don't like to feel uncomfortable. So if you ever feel uncomfortable, it's just like, why would I even? But see, then again, that could be. Well, if it's something you're not supposed to be doing, because you can be uncomfortable and you need to be uncomfortable to get done what you need to get done. So I'm not going to say that. But, if it's something you just know you don't want to do, don't do it, And I know it's probably easier said than done, but you will reap the benefits of it, whether positive or negatively.
Now you said a whole word there. Yeah, benefits come positive or negative. Do you have any other questions?
Yes. Another one was,
how would you deal with negative like drama coming your way in like situations in school or in public, in any place really? Yeah.
So like a situation where somebody actually tries to come, what y'all say these days? Oh, they did. I know you ain't just try to come for me. So somebody come for you, in public. And like you guys, like we were saying, you are very much so out, your faces in the community. How do you handle that? I mean, because you guys are very well known and you are trying to create that reputation, which is one of positivity, right?
And the reputation is created. So is it the same answer as the previous question?
Egypt, she's smiling so big.
Wait, did she say would we give the same response as the previous question?
Right, for drama. Because she asked, what would you do in regards to a drama oriented situation?
I think so. Yeah, you just got to take a step back and just think about, is this worth that? Pros and cons. Come on now. People don't talk all your life. So it's kind of just like, okay, next.
KJ, you speak on that coming from a male perspective. And I think what she's saying more so is like an actual situation where drama has presented itself.
Well, like honestly, just coming from this perspective that Idra was just speaking on, like you have to weigh those pros and cons.
Let me interrupt you real quick. Do you feel like it's harder? For males?
Yeah, and I was gonna get into that because like we still have to weigh those pros and cons, but at the same time, as a man, or let me just say this, like your name, is all you have, like in this world. And I remember like just growing up, like just being told like you have to defend like your name, like people try to step on your name, like they can keep talking, like you just said, like people are going to talk all your life, but then sometimes there are some battles that you do have to fight. I'm not saying physical, like that doesn't always mean physical, but like there are some battles that you will have to like to fight, and say like you will defend your name, because at the end of the day, like your name is your name. And I guess just speaking from a male perspective, like I honestly just like growing up, I was never the one to be confrontational. Like I was always I can't really relate like back in school or just middle school, high school, or whatever, because I wasn't just conversational. I felt like I was good with everybody, but there were moments where like people would try to step to me. But like I wasn't about okay, you said this. I'm just like, okay, you said something, you know, like it's just you said something, like you were speaking words, and like I didn't let those things affect me. If it wasn't like, okay, you're not saying anything about my family, you're not saying anything about like, my name, and then like, adding, you know, facts that are like really lies to it and like publishing those. So like, I felt like, honestly, I wouldn't confront those things. I know like it also depends on the mindset, because and especially like the environment that you grow up in, because like, maybe where you come from, protecting your name is throwing hands. You got to represent your ground. And I think that's when, even more than so, like we really, I think just as a Black collective of people, like we have to weigh the pros and cons more as it comes to terms with like, what would you tell your son and daughter? Like how, because this is something that I think about on a regular, like, how is my life, and the man that I'm becoming, shaping to the lessons that I'm going to tell my children one day. And that's something that I think our community as a whole and as a collective, as we see, like we're killing each other in the streets. I feel like that kind of starts with that, okay, drama, he said, she said.
Yep.
Like, at the end of the day, it's at a basic level. And like we can go back to the basic levels of thing and say, like, hey, what's the pros and cons to this? Is it really worth someone else's life, someone else's, son or daughter? But yeah, I can keep going on. I just feel like I'm getting.
I'm glad you actually hit on that, because that's exactly what I was going to say. It seems like all of this stuff starts with words. Somebody say you something you don't like, or something about, even say something about your mama, your daddy, it's just words. And it's really sad, because these days we can't just fight and live to fight another day. You know what I'm saying? We can't just have an argument on Facebook without having to watch your back. And I oftentimes wonder how that is really affecting our youth in schools and stuff, just knowing the things that are going on in the schools, outside of schools. And then when you guys hear, sometimes you'll hear something happened and you're like, dang, I know that person. Like either that's a friend that did it, or that's a friend that was a victim of it, unfortunately.
Or you may not know them, but they're Black, and then it concerns you.
Right. And exactly that too, because it seems that, and I said this on another call, it's like we have a quota to meet against our own. And I think it's really sad. I'm in mental health, and I see a lot of mental health children these days, and I try to do my best to encourage them and to give them guidance. And but I really feel like, and this is a moment where I really want y'all to chime in, because I really feel like youth and young kids, children, whatever, young adults, teenagers, that you guys take advice better coming from one another than you do from adults. Go ahead, Coda.
Definitely. Oh yes, and that's when I learned that there's power in your voice. And I as a kid, no kid wants to hear another. I mean, that's just fact. No kid wants to hear from an adult, your parents, or anybody. Just something that they like, something from them, advice from them. Them is like, you don't understand my struggles. You're not, you don't understand where I'm coming from. Da, 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 da. So it's like the youth. When you think about society, it's like the youth is a major part of driving society, and what in the media, and how we perceive things. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just like, it's a lot of power. The youth has a lot of. But I like to go back to Mia's original question about how you deal with negativity and stuff like that. Because I'm very passionate about this. Very passionate about this. Because I know a few things about this. I had an epiphany like a few months back. Listen to what I'm about to say to Mia. What I learned was that miserable people will try to make other people miserable. Nobody that is doing good in life, nobody that is successful, nobody that is doing anything good with their time is trying to put other people down. That's what you have to realize. So when you think about the world as a whole, and you think about people and all the negativity and all the drama and stuff like that, what I think about was, at some point, somebody hurt these people. So now they're miserable. They want to hurt other people. So what you have to do is you have to decide to be the type of person that just shows love. Because when you show love, when you are faced with drama, when you are faced with negativity, and you show love, you're being an influencer. You're being a leader. You're showing what should handle situations, and in turn, you're helping yourself more than you are helping other people. Because what I also learned was that it takes way more energy to hate somebody than it does to love somebody. Way more. So I would say, remember who you are, and always show love, no matter what. Love everybody, especially because they need it the most.
I love that. I was thinking about in my field, and when in healthcare and in mental health or whatever, when you are putting together a care plan, you always want that patient or that person to be involved in that care plan, because then they are more apt to stay compliant with it, right? And I was just thinking about that as it relates to like BJ's initiative with your vote, your voice, your vote. When the youth feel like, you know, they've had a part in something, it's something that to then become proud of, you know, and instead of focusing on the negativity or what the streets is talking about, and again, you know what I'm saying? You have helped them in a BJ, excuse me, I'm stuttering a little bit. You have helped them to just focus on something else more positive, but at the same time, it is life changing and it helps to change the world, you know. And it was that your goal with when you first thought about starting your voice, your vote?
Well, my goal was kind of addressing an issue that I saw as very clear, which was that young people were one of the largest voting demographics, but one of the poorest voter turnouts. And so what I found is that a lot of young people really just don't know how to get started in the voter registration process, in the voting process, or they just have this sense of apathy and they just don't think that it concerns them. But once I started getting out there and interacting with them and I'm giving them these resources and educating them, I saw that they were hungry. They wanted to create this social change. They just didn't know how. And so for sure, and we're talking about the power of the youth. I think that talking about the power of the youth vote also goes hand in hand. And I would say that don't get discouraged with the youth just because it's not looking too good, especially when we look at this violence. I would encourage you to go out there and interact and still push the message, still push the envelope, because there's definitely hope out there. People do want change. People do want better for their communities. And that's something that I saw firsthand.
That's really good. And I like what you said about direction. You know, people, they don't have direction. They don't have that leadership or that guidance. So a lot turn to whatever they think is love, you know, or, and I mean, something as simple as what Charity is doing. Like, can somebody give me a pad? You know, like real talk. Something that simple, let somebody know, hey, okay, somebody out here cares about me. I don't have to go to the streets. I don't have to sell drugs. I don't have to sell my body, you know, because believe it or not, you know, even children your ages are feeling like this is the only way to live. This is the only way they can make it. And to see you guys on this call tonight just gives them a sense of hope. It just gives it awakens their faith again. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I can do this. You know, life can be good. I can change. I can break the cycle. So that is the most empowering thing about the most important thing about this whole call tonight. Basically, Charity, did you want to say something?
As it pertains to the community violence?
Yes.
Basically what I have to say is Black lives have to matter to Black lives. I mean, we can scream Black Lives Matter all day, but until we respect and love on each other, no one else is going to respect and love on us. So I just think we need to love on one another, let one another know that we're there for each other, and then we can move along as Black people. And we definitely need to be moving as a unit, because no one else, Black people don't get handouts. I'm sorry, it's just not there for us. So we definitely need to move as a unit. Therefore, we can assist each other.
That's right. That's really good. All right. So we're actually going to start wrapping up the call. Again, I thank you guys so very much. Your time is very valuable, and we appreciate you so much. The last thing I always ask is if you had to give any piece of advice, which y'all have given so much tonight, but if you had anything else that you want to say to like a child to Mia's age, to somebody your age, just speak to that Black child who has just given up on life, who has lost hope, who feels like their Black has no purpose, okay? And that all they'll ever be able to do is, go to the streets, drugs, gangs, guns, violence, speak to that person for me. Whoever wants to start.
I'll say that you can look at us right here sitting on this panel and you can be one of us. I mean, find what you're passionate about and stick to it, and don't let the temptation ruin your reputation. So find what you're passionate about, stick to it, get on the ground and start moving it, and therefore you won't have to resort to the streets.
Absolutely. And just kind of to piggyback off of Charity, I truly believe that there's nothing special about me. I literally just had a vision and I had the drive to go after it. So if you see something in your community that you see as needing addressing, then I would encourage you to do so. No one's better than you. Don't let your age deter you. I was 16 when I started the grassroots effort. You can do anything that you set your mind to, and you're the change that you've been waiting for. So for sure, that's my charge of action to you.
Come on, charge. Next.
I would say just, to reiterate everything that everyone has said, but really just to stay focused. We lose focus a lot, just trying to do multiple things or trying to just focus on one thing, but then realize like we lose the purpose in it all. Because I feel like understand what you want to be focused on and like really grinding that out and like, okay, what do I need to do? Like, it's something that I pray about, I ask God, to show me my purpose. And, for me, like, I'm walking in it now. I believe I'm walking in the steps that God has aligned me to. I don't ask questions no more. I don't question it. Like, I just say, okay, I'm doing it. Like, I don't question it anymore. And I feel like, everyone should walk like that, uh, ask God, hey, what is my purpose? What am I here on this earth? There's a quote. I may requote it wrong, but it's like, you're born the yeah, you live two lives, the one that you're born with, and then the day that you realize that you're living for something. I may have just said that all wrong, but the point is with that, just there's one day that you're gonna find your purpose, and the moment you do, hold on to it, like focus on it, and just drive into it.
That's good. That's good. Coda?
I have a lot to say, but I'm gonna say this: growth is always uncomfortable, no matter what you do, no matter what goals you have, and you have to make that decision to say, okay, and it's gonna sound crazy, but you have to get comfortable where it's uncomfortable, because without the struggle, without the failure, you're never gonna grow, you're never gonna succeed. And most people don't succeed because they're either too scared of people seeing them start from a low place or start from the very bottom, starting from scratch, or they're just scared in general to fail. You cannot be scared. Failure is the stepping stone to success, because one of these days, failure after failure after failure, you're gonna reach your goal. You're gonna do it. And I'm not gonna say stay positive, because there's a such thing as toxic positivity. You're not always gonna be not always gonna be motivated, and that's okay. You're human. And even back to that thing, that peer pressure thing, you're human. So if you mess up, it's like you have to let yourself be okay. You have to let yourself process everything. So to wrap up everything I just said, I would say enjoy the journey. It's about the journey and not really the day.
Come on here, girl. Shoot. Demita, that's my child. I took her from. Okay. Egypt.
Yes, I was just going to say, I think my aunt, Natasha, she was talking about this to me just last weekend. People often try to get at the top of the mountain. I want to get here, I have these goals, this, that, and the third, but they don't appreciate the moments in the valley. And I feel like you should, like, why not? It makes a lot of sense. You have to prepare to get to where you're going to be. So I say just stay steadfast in what you're doing. And like Kendall said, all of them said, really, like, just keep your eye on the prize, keep going. I mean, a lot of things are gonna try to come against us, many things, but you just got to keep going and don't give up. Believe in yourself, trust in God, and it'll all fall into place.
Wow. All right. Thank you guys again so very much. Guys and girls, thank y'all so much. Again, I can't thank you enough. What an amazing call. And we're just wrapping it up. Drive, purpose. Keep your eyes on the prize. I love you all. Y'all keep doing amazing things. I can't wait to see what the future holds for each and every one of y'all. And remember that your Black has a purpose, okay? Keep making us proud, man. Thank you again. And to everyone on the call, good night. Thank y'all for tuning in.